Have you ever felt belittled, insecure, or angry because of someone's negative attitude? Have you ever experienced joy, comfort, or elation as a result of someone's positive attitude? A considerable amount of the attitudes we display daily are automatic, often without even the knowledge that they were formed in the first place. But what are attitudes? How are they formed? And why do they change? Our attitudes are the way we think or feel about someone or something that is reflected in our outward behaviors. Whether we are happy, sad, angry, excited, disgusted, or fearful, these feelings are displayed in our attitudes towards others. Our attitudes are affected by our core belief system, the behaviors of those around us, and can be transformed simply by the way we are feeling at any given time. The formation of these attitudes starts from a very early age and change as we gain knowledge and insight about the world around us. As humans, we tend to model the attitudes of others, especially those within our social circles. Therefore, the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 4, warns us, "Fathers, do not provoke your children to anger by the way you treat them. Rather, bring them up with the discipline and instruction that comes from the Lord." This is true in all relationships, not just between a father and his children. If we show anger, disrespect, or belittlement in our attitudes towards others, it can create a mirrored effect in their own outward behaviors. Attitudes are contagious, so we must choose positive behaviors that are worth sharing. Attitudes serve a great purpose in our daily lives. Since these attitudes are an expression of ourselves, they allow us to engage in a complex social world that is always changing. Attitudes can boost our self-confidence, help us fit in, or assist us in getting ahead in business. However, the most profound role that attitudes play are the power they have in persuading others. Unfortunately, this can lead to one adopting behaviors that do not line up with their beliefs and values. Instead, we must intentionally seek God's guidance in shaping our attitudes to be like His. Colossians chapter 4, verse 2 teaches us, "Devote yourselves to prayer with an alert mind and a thankful heart." This will align our heart and spirit with God's and arm us with the tools of discernment, so we can model a positive attitude towards others. A few days ago, my typically optimistic wife became quiet and irritable. She loves her family, has great friends, and always tries to find the good in others. I inquired as to what was wrong, and she replied, "Nothing, I'm fine." Being the wonderful husband that I am, I've learned that when she says she's fine, that means something is wrong. I decided to give her some space, but made a mental note to follow up later. While we were making dinner, my wife softly admitted, "I talked to my mom today." Aha, the culprit. What I know from my 25 years of marriage is that my wife has been hurt for many years by her mom. In a matter of 3 to 5 hours, she went from happy to angry and then sad. After some time to pray, reflect, and recover, she evolved back into my happy wife again. What I realized is how her change in attitude affected mine. I too found myself irritable and withdrawn when I wasn't even part of the conversation. It was an eye-opener to me how contagious our attitudes can be, especially to those you are closest to. Negativity is like a cancer that can spread amongst people, affecting one after the other without their knowledge. Research suggests that the longer we hold a certain attitude towards someone or something, the more resistant it is to change. Behaviors become habitual, and changing any habit requires intention. But can we change our feelings by creating a habit of showing a positive attitude? With any habit comes repetition, and that repetition is what creates patterns. If we can put forth the effort to bring together our previous cognitions and negative behaviors while choosing to create positive attitudes, the initial negative emotion will turn into a positive one. This creates a positive attitude change. We do not have to try and do this alone, however, because let's face it, change is hard. We have been gifted divine privileges to mirror Christ's attitude towards others. Ephesians chapter 4, verses 31 and 32 tell us, "Get rid of all bitterness, rage, anger, harsh words, and slander, as well as all types of evil behavior. Instead, be kind to each other, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, just as God, through Christ, has forgiven you." Since we know our attitudes have the power to persuade others, we must humble ourselves, resist our fleshly ways, and offer Jesus' attitude of love, joy, and positivity.